This video shows you how to solve the CodingBat Warmup number 1 called diff21. The way CodingBat works is you type your Java in this text box here, and then you press go, and we could just show the solution here, but this is to work you through how CodingBat works. So every CodingBat says a problem. It gives you some examples of inputs and expected outputs, and then there's the coding area. This one says given an int in, and you can see that int in is our input, so that 19 or that 10 or that 21 will become our in. Given some in, return the absolute difference between n and 21, except return double the absolute difference if n is over 21. So we're going to baby step through this. We're going to solve just the regular difference between n and 21, and then we'll do the double part later. So given an n, how do I return an answer even? So the way you return an answer in CodingBat is you type the word, in Java, is you type the word return, followed by the value that you want to return. So if we think that the answer is 19, just whatever, return 19, this will say no matter what number they give us n, we're going to say the answer is 19. When you click go, CodingBat runs your code, and then it says we put in 19, and the difference between 19 and 21 is 2, so we're expecting to get the answer 2 out, but you gave us the answer 19. Well, if we look down here, we have all these red marks. We have one green because it turns out that the difference between 2 and 19 actually is 19, so we got one right just by guessing. So we need to do a little bit better job. So it's wanting to know the difference between n and 21. So difference makes me think of subtraction. So what is the difference between n and 21? And this is Java, so you can put spaces where you want to make it readable. You can put comments. You can do all those things. So now we've written the code return n minus 21, which will take n, whatever that is, take 21 away, and it'll give the answer. So hit go, and I should see some more green. I do. Well, I have one green. The difference between 21 and 0 is 0, and that one's right. So these are not right. In this case, I put in 19 and 2, and it expected 2, but I got negative 2. It expected 11, so I got negative 11. Well, that's not right. Well, what if I turn it around? What is the difference between 21 and n? And I'm getting more greens here, so that one's right, that one's right, that one's right, but then this one is wrong. The absolute difference between 22, you know what? So we're missing part of it because of this return double the difference, and we're missing part of it because of this negative thing. So 2 gave us the right answer, but then 18 gave us the wrong answer, and what else gave us the wrong answer? Gosh. Yep. So the absolute difference needs to talk about absolute value. And so we can talk about absolute value in two different ways. If you know if, we can say if 21 minus n is less than 0, then return n minus 21. Otherwise, return 21 minus n. Let's see if that gets us any more green marks. So that got the 2 right, that got the 11 right. But when we're getting these big numbers, we're still not returning our double the answer. So the difference between 22 and 21 is 1, but because it's bigger than 20, return double the absolute difference if n is over 21. So we may need to regroup and look at it a different way. If n is over 21, get your curly braces there. If n is over 21, then we want to return however much the difference is, n minus 21. We want to return that, but we want to return that amount doubled, so we double it by timesing it by 2. Otherwise, we want to return n minus 21. And that looks like it might work, but it doesn't. So 22, 2, that's right. 25, 8, 8, that's right. So we got this negative thing happening here. We got this negative thing happening here. So it's the same thing we did earlier. We're going to turn this 21 around to 21 minus n. And hit go. All is correct. So now I want to know how my answer looks compared to the solution. So I can show the solution. And my solution is very similar to the solution, except we did our if in the opposite direction. So this says if n is smaller than 21, return the difference. Otherwise, that means n is bigger than 21, so we're going to return twice the difference. Mine just says if n is big, return twice the difference. Otherwise, return the difference. So this is how you do CodingBat. You run your solution and you keep working with it and seeing what you did wrong and how you might adapt or change your solution until you get it all correct. When you're done with that one, you can either choose previous or next, you can press chance for a random one, or you can click the title of the group to go back and find other problems in that same group. If you need help, you can use these tutorials and these videos here that show you an example solution, how to use strings, how to use Boolean logic like we used if in that last example, how to do loops and arrays.